Because it's a civil issue and it's nothing for the police to get involved in.
But you're still going to make off, aren't you? Technically without payment, but if we can get your details...
But I have paid.
But you haven't...
And it is their policy to accept the £20 coin.
Have you?
Has
he paid?
Policy? No, he hasn't.
Right, if you haven't paid and if you walk out this door now...
They've still got the money though.
Just let me finish. If you walk out that door now, you are liable for an arrest because we don't have your details.
At this very moment, an innocent man is being placed under arrest for a crime that doesn't even exist. His only offense, trying to pay for fuel with a £20 coin. Legal tender issued by the Royal Mint. Instead of diffusing the situation, the officers escalate it into a wrongful arrest. Welcome to Justice Lens, where we expose misconduct, break down legal failures, and hold power to account. This case was originally covered by Eye Spy Audits. Check the link in the description to support his channel.
So
What are they?
it's a £20 coin.
Never seen them in my life.
So it's from the Royal Mint, so the same place that all legal tender comes from. It's got the same legal tender status that any other money has.
Never seen one of these in my life.
Can I take your collar number, sorry?
Yeah, 3130. Sorry.
And you're from Middlesbrough Station, are you?
No, I'm from Stockton. Stockton Police Station.
I was asked the post office, they said they are not accept this one.
Yeah, I don't think they would either, to be honest with you. Have you got any other means of payment at the minute?
I don't know. Can I ask why you didn't tell me before you started recording?
So when we go to any incident, our tour of duty and our police protocol is to video every incident we go to achieve the best evidence.
But you've got to notify the person, or the first available opportunity.
No, we don't.
You do?
Have you got that from somewhere? Have you read that up somewhere? Or?
Yes, your policy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, at the minute, we're obviously videoing everything because we've been called to an incident. Immediate response where there's some ongoing issue with payment, whether it's a domestic...
999?
Well, that's what's coming as, yeah.
Well.
Well, we just didn't know what was happening. There was an altercation in the shop, so we've arrived on that instance.
But you've still got to tell someone at the first available opportunity that you're recording, and you didn't.
Well, we don't have to tell you. We turn our body cameras on 30 seconds before any incident. So these pre-record technically when we're in the vehicle.
But you do have to tell them before you start recording.
We don't. Are you going to give me your name?
I'm not, no.
Right, okay.
Because
is there a reason for that?
Because it's a civil matter, and it's not something that the police can get involved in.
To a degree, you're right. It is a civil matter. We can deal with it a different way, but obviously, ultimately, you haven't paid for your fuel.
I have.
But they're not accepting that money.
But that's up to them to accept it. If they decline...
They've obviously run the post office and they've declined that. Ultimately, it's a civil issue, but if you're not willing to give us your details, then how do we know that you're going to resolve the civil issue at a later date? If you're happy to give us your details, then we can look at the civil issue at a later date.
But that's a civil issue, that's nothing for the police to get involved in.
But we don't know your details, do we? So you could technically escape from here and never come back and never deal with that issue, then you'd be circulated as wanted for that, won't you, for making off without payment?
In a small BP petrol station in the UK, Auditor Eye Spy attempted a simple purchase. He handed over a £20 coin, perfectly valid legal tender, but the cashier refused, called the police, and suddenly, a civil disagreement became a police matter. From the moment the first officer arrived, she showed just how unprepared she was. She denied the clear policy requiring officers to declare body-worn cameras. She pushed aggressively for the auditor's personal details, even though no crime had been committed. When he stood his ground, the officers doubled down. They threatened him with being circulated as wanted, even though this was nothing more than a civil dispute. The law is clear. Failing to show ID in a civil disagreement is not a crime.
So basically, he's trying to pay with this. They've run the post office and said that it doesn't really exist, you can't pay with that. He obviously won't give us our details. I've explained to him to a degree it's a civil matter, however, if he does make off and he doesn't give us our details, we're struggling for any sort of civil issue at a later date, any details and making off without payment, So I've explained if he does give us his details and we know where he is and we can contact him at a later date, hopefully this issue can get resolved. No. He's obviously not really wanting to do that at the minute.
Because it's a civil issue and it's nothing for the police to get involved in.
But you're still going to make off, aren't you? Technically without payment, but if we can get your details...
But I have paid.
But you haven't...
And it is their policy to accept the £20 coin.
Have you?
Has
he paid?
Policy? No, he hasn't.
Right, if you haven't paid and if you walk out this door now...
They've still got the money though.
Just let me finish. If you walk out that door now, you are liable for an arrest because we don't have your details.
But you don't need them.
Well, I do.
Because it's a civil issue.
But it's not, because a make off without payment is then a police matter. So if you walk out that
No,
door
it's
now,
not.
it is. If you walk out that door now, you'll be getting arrested for make off without payment.
But there is an agreement with
But
BP that
Is there,
the
any other
coin can be
way, is
used.
there any other way that you can pay? Because we're going to sit here for hours arguing. I've been quite respectful to you. I appreciate you have to a degree, and I appreciate that from yourself. You haven't been argumentative with me, and I appreciate that you've been a normal human being.
No,
However, we need
I don't
a
intend to.
solution.
No.
No, I know, I
If
appreciate
you
that.
can pay for the fuel now by other means, then that's fair enough. It'll be the end of the matter.
Or if you can give us your details and we can deal with it at a slower time, we can offer you that. But if you're not willing to do either any, then we're struggling with what we have left to do.
Because we can't let you walk out that door without paying. But
We don't know where you live, you might not even be from around here, I'm not saying you are, but you know what I mean, we have people where they'll make off and then they won't give us our details and then we're going to struggle. But we're still going to have that £20 of fuel, unfortunately, with this BP garage outstanding.
Which car is it?
But I have paid for the fuel.
But you haven't paid for the
haven't
fuel.
paid for
Which
fuel.
one?
Right, we're going round in circles, aren't we?
We are, unfortunately. We've agreed, we've reasoned with you now, and we've tried to say that if you give us your details, tell you where you live, we'll deal with it slow time. However, you then leave, we don't have your details, we don't know where you live, you could live in London for all we know, and then there's still this making off without payment because they will not accept this as payment.
But I don't have to identify for a civil issue.
It technically isn't a civil issue though, is it, when you leave and you don't pay? You haven't paid for your fuel. We've got the payment here, which isn't acceptable, so really you haven't paid at the minute.
The second officer then made matters worse. Instead of calming things down, she jumped straight to threats of arrest, claiming making off without payment. But the auditor hadn't left the store, hadn't tried to leave, and had already offered valid payment. Legally, there was no crime, and yet they arrested him anyway, for a law that didn't apply, for a situation that only existed in their imagination.
I have, because I've handed the coin over. So I haven't got that in my possession, and I've contacted BP head office
Okay.
before coming here.
Right, and was that today then, or?
No,
So when was that then? So you've contacted BP head office before you've come in?
correct.
Right, so did you contact them today, or was it yesterday, or last week, or?
It's not up to me to say that.
How's it money?
Do you understand what the £20 coin is?
No, that's why I'm confused.
Well, why are you threatening me for arrest then, if you don't know?
Because it's not money.
It is.
Right. We'll agree to disagree. At the end
You
of the
don't know that. It is. It's
Right.
legal tender, the same as a £20 note and a £10 note.
Right, and who did you speak to from the BP garage, the manager?
It's a Royal Mint who issued that £20 coin.
Right. Okay.
So it's the same money as any other money.
Well, if you get someone on the phone to me who you've spoken to earlier, then we could kind of end the matter here, can't we?
But if it's a civil
you're not
issue, I
willing-
don't need
but
to
at the minute
assist
we
you.
don't- But at the minute we don't know it's a civil matter.
But I don't need to assist you in a civil issue.
But you do, because it then turns into a police matter because we don't know that coin.
But if
this
there's
is what I'm getting at.
but if there's a civil
You're running
agreement-
the risk of being arrested because you haven't given us his details, and you're going to walk out that door, and it's technically a failure to pay.
But then it'll be a
make off
civil.
without payment.
But then I'll sue you.
Well, that's
So,
fine. If you want to sue us, that's
un-
fine.
unlawful
But
arrest.
like I said, we've been honest with you in terms of which way we can go. The staff here have been very honest, okay? And all I'm saying
Well, he
is, if you
hasn't.
get the person on the phone who you spoke to earlier with the agreement, then that could be the end of the matter. But
Do you
as
know-
far as I do, then technically, if you walk out the door, it's going to be make off without payment.
He's already accepted to take it.
You haven't accepted to take it. No, haven't accepted to take it. Now, you walk out that door, becomes a criminal matter, and you get arrested for make off without payment.
Or you
because
give us your
you're-
details.
You're refusing to give us your
From there.
details, and we don't know that vehicle is yours because you're not.
But I've told you
Is it urgent?
that he said he would take the coin
But he isn't out.
if I take my mask off.
Right, well I wasn't here for that, so we have no witnesses, unfortunately, other than you and him. Right now I can't view that.
Body camera.
But right now I can't view that. At the end of the day, you've come in, you've paid for you've got your fuel, you've come in. This isn't a payable matter. Once you leave, we've offered you to give us your details and deal with it that way. For all I know, that vehicle could be registered to somebody else and lived in London. And how are we ever going to trace you? I mean, I can't be any more reasonable with you and give you some sort of options that we can go
But I
with,
don't
but you
need
still
to
refuse
assist you. I don't need to assist the police in a civil
please.
matter.
Then you.
But are you offering to give
Because
the
you're
staff,
wrong.
not myself, not my colleague, the staff your name and contact number?
No.
Right, so we have one option, but two will lock you up then.
Well, I've got a civil agreement in the
No,
background.
Fine, you
we're
can
not-
So-
prove that
you
at
can
court.
prove-
I've
Yeah,
got
prove
that.
that at court
That's
then.
fine. You can prove that
Yeah.
at court.
Months later, the truth caught up with them in court. The chief constable handed over nearly £4,000 in compensation, taxpayers' money, but never once apologized. No accountability, no lesson learned, just silence.
Oh, this moment in time, you're currently under arrest for making off without payment. You don't
I
have to
haven't-
say anything,
but I haven't made off.
We don't mention one questions in the which later line court. Anything you do is maybe given evidence.
But I haven't made off
Necessity
though.
for your arrest is prompted in factual investigation. Okay?
But I haven't
So
made
I
off.
activate your precautions, so what?
And due to the fact you failed to provide details.
But I haven't made off.
Failed to provide details, yeah.
But I haven't made off.
Right, are we going to go calmly? Are we going to go quietly?
We would go calmly all the time. Okay,
Okay, well, do you want to walk with us then?
Of course.
Thank you. Do I need to hang these? Have you got anything in your pockets that's going to harm me or you?
Just
Take them out. It's just a question we ask everybody.
Can we just take your camera off as well, please?
Hang on. What absolute jokers. Taken to Middlesbrough police station, arrested for trying to use a £20 coin.
This case proves how quickly ego and ignorance can spiral into abuse of power. If officers don't understand the law they enforce, citizens suffer the consequences. Subscribe to Justice Lens for more cases like this, and don't forget to support Eye Spy Audits, linked in the description.